Hello! Welcome to another video! Today we are playing a game of Bookish This or That. Quite a while ago I put a question box out on Instagram of I want to play a game, Bookish This or That, and I never answered them because I was gonna do this video. So here we are with this video. I've got quite a lot of responses, so oh god, it goes on. So I probably won't do all of them. Some of them are probably repeated. There's definitely one question that I know is repeated a lot in here, but yeah, I'm gonna go through and play a little game of Bookish This or That with you, and feel free to give me your answers to some of these down below as well if you would like to. Let's crack on with this. Okay, we have game night or reading night. For me, reading night. Yeah, especially in the mood that I'm in currently, reading night over game night. I do love playing board games and I do love like playing a bit of Pokemon or something, but a quiet reading night over a game night, I think. Paperback or hardback? This used to be easy and it used to be paperback, but I don't think it is anymore. I think I've fallen into a love of hardbacks, which is weird, but I do think I have fallen in love with hardbacks, so I'm gonna go hardback. Special edition or signed book? Special edition. Special edition over signed, yeah, for sure. I think signed is a really nice thing. More so if it's personalised, though. I feel like if you've actually been to a signing and got a book signed and personalised, then that's a little bit more special than just buying a signed edition. I would rather have a special edition that you'll actually like see the special edition elements of it, whereas the signature you'll only ever see if you open to the signed page. So I'm gonna go special edition on that one. Floppy paperback or French flaps? Floppy paperback 100% of the time. Audiobooks or ebooks? I don't really read ebooks, but I do read a lot of audiobooks, so audiobooks. Love or adventure? Definitely adventure. I am not much of a romance reader at all. For me, romance doesn't add an awful lot to a plot. I much prefer a sense of adventure to love. Older character, 50 plus, or a child character? I think because I'm a middle grade reader a lot as well, I do read a lot of child characters, and in fact a lot of the fantasy I read also comes with a like coming of age element, which normally starts with them being a child, so it's gonna be child character, which is weird because I don't like kids. Never dye your hair again or never read middle grade again. I haven't dyed my hair in ages, and I seem to be surviving. Could I survive without reading middle grade? I'm not sure about that one. Middle grade is what I gravitate to when I'm like really struggling and like having a hard time. So I would have to go with never dyeing my hair again, I think. But I hate my natural hair colour, so eesh. Only read books you've already read or only read books you haven't already read for the rest of your life. It would have to be books I haven't, because there are so many options. There are so many options. It would suck to never reread some of my favourites, for sure, but there are so many great books out there that I haven't yet read. Like, at least if I went with that option, there's more chance of me discovering new awesome things, whereas reading the books I've already read, like, yes, I could reread my favourites, but I would be really limited. So, yeah, it's got to be books I haven't read before. Bookmark or dog ear? Bookmark. Definitely bookmark. Have you heard of Daisy and Bee? I have a bookmark shop with Steph. I'll link it down below. I might as well answer the one that is everywhere and I've already come across it a few times, and that is Sebastian de Castel or Victoria Schwab. I hate this question because they are my two favourite authors. However, if I'm being totally honest, the author who has so far never let me down is Seb. So it's going to be Sebastian de Castel. But Victoria Schwab with Gallant really, like, pulled it back for me. But I haven't adored everything I've read from her, whereas with Seb, I have. However, I think I've read more from Schwab. Yeah, I've read 18 Victoria Schwab books. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've read 18 Victoria Schwab books and 13 Seb books. But it has to be Seb, because I've loved everything from him. And then we go into a specific one for Seb, Spellslinger or The Greatcoats. And for me, it's The Greatcoats. I love both, but if I had to recommend one over the other, it's The Greatcoats. I love The Greatcoats more myself, personally. I do just think it's that bit better. I love The Greatcoats so much. It's like my favourite series ever. Night's Shadow, book 2 in that series, is my favourite book ever. So, Greatcoats. World building or character development? This is really hard, but I'm gonna go with world building, especially as I read a lot of political fantasy. I like political fantasy a lot. And I think world building is so important with the politics of a world and like learning how it's run and stuff. So I think I'm gonna say world building, but character development is so massively important. But I think I'm gonna say world building. Just thinking of a recent book that I criticised for having no world building or character development, the thing that I said I wanted most out of it was the world building. So yeah, that one. Oh, here's a different between two authors, Brandy Sandy or Robin Hobb. They're literally both right here in their pride places. I have read more from Robin Hobb, so I've had more opportunity to fall in love with Robin Hobb. So I'm gonna say Robin Hobb. And the Live Ship trilogy is one of my favourites. Absolutely adore that trilogy. And if I had to compare the Mistborn trilogy with the Live Ship trilogy, I would say I liked the Live Ship trilogy more. But Hero of Ages has the best ending I think I've ever read. But I'm gonna go Robin Hobb. Yeah, I'm gonna go Robin Hobb. Never finish a series or never be able to reread. I'm gonna go with never be able to reread. Similarly to what I said before, if I can never finish a series, I'm never gonna know how anything ends. But I can reread the beginning of it? No, I would rather finish it and then never reread, because at least then I can still find new series to love and finish. So yeah, never reread. Reading only or book buying only? Like, if I could only read or only buy, it would be read. I would use a library. This Savage Song or A Darker Shade of Magic? It's A Darker Shade of Magic. I love that trilogy. That one's easy. I do love Our Dark Duet though. But it's A Darker Shade of Magic. YA or adult fantasy? Adult. It is adult fantasy. I've definitely fallen out of love with YA a bit. There's still some quality YAs out there, but as a majority, I am more interested in a lot more adult fantasy these days. Like, the books that I'm most excited about these days are adult, so I'm gonna go adult fantasy. Reading inside or reading outside? I'm gonna say reading inside. Despite the fact that in summer I love reading outside and I love like going to the park and reading in the park by the pond or something like that. I love doing that in the summer. But realistically, I live in the UK. It's grey and rainy most of the time. So inside is more realistic. However, if I could control the weather, outside. Kellen or Rikis from Spellslinger, and it has to be Rikis, who I always thought was pronounced Rishis, but it's Rikis. The squirrel cat. Sarcastic, witty little thing. I was going to call him something else there. Duology or a longer series? I think I would have to go with a longer series. I do like the idea of a duology because it's like you get the beginning to end story quicker. But if it's a series that I am like falling in love with. For example, The Black Hawks by Jadeyraereads. I'm gutted that it's a duology because I want more of it. So longer series. Dust jacket on or off whilst reading? Off. I cannot read a book with the dust jacket still on it. So uncomfortable. Has to be gone. Reading with or without music on? For me, that's gonna be a without. I sometimes will put some like ambient noise on, but not music. I can't concentrate when there's music on, especially music with lyrics. Maybe some like light instrumental, but if I had to pick, it would be without. TBR or mood read? This is hard because I've always been a TBR person. However, in March, I did mood read March and loved it. And I kind of want to mood read more. So this is really difficult, but I've always been a TBR person. I love my TBR game, but I am going to give myself the opportunity to mood read more. But I'm a TBR person, so I'm gonna say TBR. But this is very much up in the air at the minute. Month-long readathon or 24-hour readathon? For me, 24 hours. I like a challenge, which is why when I do Polathon, it's a week rather than a month. I like a short burst of a challenge to like really push myself for that smaller period of time. Whereas with a longer readathon, I don't know, I don't want to say I don't try as hard, but I don't challenge myself as much. So 24-hour. I'm gonna leave it there. I got plenty more questions. If you want me to do this again, let me know. But hopefully this has been a little bit of fun. Hope you've enjoyed. It's probably been a bit of a quick one, but just a little fun Q&A type thing, this or that. As I said before, if you want to let me know your answers to any of those this or that's down below, feel free. But I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, give us a thumbs up, chat to me down below, all that good stuff. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I would be eternally grateful for that. But otherwise, I shall see you in whatever comes next. Bye!